grab your bowl of water. And have a towel, you know. Shit happens. We gotta make sure we have quick cleanup tools. Hold the water in a way where it's comfortable and we'll be able to close our eyes without spilling. That's why we have towels. So just hold your water, and I want you to, in this moment, feel the weight of that vessel in your hands. First layer of this experience is getting to relate to this outer container that is holding something that is moving. And I want you to very gently move your body so that you can feel that the water is kind of swaying ever so slightly, so that your nervous system gets to pick up that there is liquid inside, that it is not an empty vessel. We're feeling the weight of it, we're feeling the movement of it, very, very subtle. And while we have one hand holding the vessel, I want you to take your other hand and I want you to put it on top of where the water is without yet touching the water. And I want us to notice, if we pull our hand up and away from the water, what does it feel like up here? And if we're imagining this, we're higher up in the air. And we're going to very slowly let our hand start to come down and get closer to the surface of the water. And I want you to feel if there's any temperature change, any environment change that you could start to feel as you get closer to the water. Perhaps it's a little bit warmer closer to the water. Perhaps you feel even a little humidity in the air closer to the water. Notice. And if you can't feel that, that's okay. That's okay. This practice is to help awaken our sensitivity to sensations and the kinds of information we're picking up. And some days we can't pick up quite as much information because we're not clear to do it that day. And that's okay. It's not right or wrong. Now what I want us to do is I want us to take one finger, maybe it's that pointer finger, it has a lot of dexterity. Just wiggle that finger a little bit away from the water, move it, and as we get closer down, I want us to very slowly begin to explore, to see where the surface of the water begins. See when you notice that you're touching the water. And then maybe we want to take two fingers and submerge two fingers so that we have more nerve endings involved in the play. And I want you to notice if you can find the surface of the water. It's a little sticky, the surface of the water. We can almost pull it up a little bit without breaking the surface tension. See if you could play with bouncing with that a little bit. It's very interesting. My pointer finger has a lot more capacity to feel that. I'm sorry, my middle finger has a lot more capacity to feel that than my pointer finger. And I wonder why. And so we're going to play with each finger. Let's go with the ring finger and feel that dipping in a little bit. What does that one feel like? And take the pinky. Different sensations with the pinky. Take the thumb. And as we're playing with each finger, you may notice that one finger wants to dive more fully into the water than the others. Some may like playing at the surface, some may not, some may want more fully submerged. They all have different personalities, each finger, our little community in our hand. We're going to see what it feels like when we play with all the fingers at once. Really play with just that very subtle surface tension. Feel if you could almost feel the water wanting to come towards you. And then I want you to play with fully submerging either your whole hand, if your vessel can fit your whole hand, more of your hand, and feel what it feels like to be under the water, beyond the surface. Does your whole hand being in the water, can we almost feel like our whole body is in the water? And as we're more submerged, I want you to move your hand back and forth a little bit, almost stirring the water, creating a little bit of a current. And then pause to feel the movement. And now I want you to find a comfortable resting place. How much of you wants to submerge in this water? And take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the nose. And I want us to actually make a little bit of a wish. Infuse this water with something that you're wanting to receive. And I want you to allow yourself to play with, maybe I just want to receive a little bit of it. I'm going to go back to the surface. Maybe I'm not ready to fully take it all in, but I'm ready to start receiving it. And we're bringing in more heart energy. Maybe I want to fully submerge in that and see what it feels like in this place as we're making this wish to fully submerge in what we're wanting. Can we allow ourselves to do that today? Maybe. And as we are making this wish, turn clockwise in the water as we're repeating what we're wanting. We'll scoop it up. Can we take a drop, put it in our mouth, taste it? And when you're ready, we're going to place our bowl down, or our cup. And before we dry off our hand, feel the water here. Feel the air hitting the water and this level of being with and in the water. And play with the memory of what it felt like to hold the weight of the vessel. And touching the tension, the surface tension of the water. Is there an echo in the memory? Or is the coolness of the air pulling us away from it? Notice if your palm is facing up or down, and now flip it. Feel what the wetness feels like in this shifted orientation. And when you're ready, dry your hand. And take your hands, go palm to palm. Let thumbs rest at the heart. Inhale through the nose, let the air raise the chest. Exhale through the nose, let the chest settle back down. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And notice the difference between both of your hands. Two very powerful parts of yourself, working together, doing two different things, each imbued with different memories. Let your hands talk to each other and tell each other about their experiences. Feel the difference in the hand that stayed dry and in the hand that got wet. Feel the physical difference. Notice the energetic difference. And let the hands very slowly come down to the lap. Let your fingers curl in whatever way they're most organically comfortable. One hand on top of the other. My dry hand wants to be on the bottom. Settle here. Feel the fingers. Feel the thumbs. Know that your hands represent two different sides of us coming together. Two different sides of us that know how to collaborate. Know how to work together despite their differences. Take a moment to honor how much intelligence your hands hold. Take a moment to honor that each finger may have a different need, may have a different desire. And when we slow down to explore all of these different parts of ourselves, we learn something. Something about choice. Feel into the different layers of exploration you just offered yourself. Feeling the weight, holding the outside and feeling the container. Feeling the air. Feeling the air as it gets closer to the water. Feeling the surface of the water. How much were we able to feel the surface of the water? We don't often play at the surface. Most of us are out or in. Remembering how much of you wanted to be submerged. Knowing we have choice in how much we submerge, and it's our choice. It's a private choice. Oftentimes people don't even have to know exactly how deeply you're willing to energetically dive in. You have choice. Exercise that choice. Know that when we find that layer that is of comfort, we are of greatest service. Too much may overwhelm. Too little, and we're missing something. Just right changes. Give yourself space to update. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. Bow chin to chest. Pause. At your readiness, begin to flutter open the eyes, taking in your hands with your eyes first. Maybe wiggle your fingers a little bit in reciprocity and appreciation for them being seen. Honoring the relationship between your eyes and your hands. And at your readiness, lift your gaze. A little bit of a different exercise today. I'm curious to hear, what did that bring up? What was that like? Were there parts of you that said, I don't want to? Was there something that came up from the story? Is there something that came up before we entered this call that wants to be voiced? How are you?